Hello, I'm Tam the TamBoTC channel, and today I am playing ESO, Elder Scrolls Online, and I mostly wanted to talk about this game. I saw a YouTuber, I can't remember his name right now, but he was saying, he titled his video something like, ESO is a completely, changed or different, unrecognizable game. Unrecognizable from what it originally was. And then there's also, what was the other thing? There was another thing talking about ESO recently. I forgot it. But I did want to kind of focus on his video, but not really. I'm just gonna make one point about his video, really. Otherwise, he's got a good video. I'm just gonna skip her freaking dialogue, whatever. She's gonna freaking talk over me. How dare you? I'm mostly discovering stuff in Markarth right now, so I have to go through all of this. So I'm just gonna mark right here, and I'm trying to get as much from the Oh, she's following me. From the DLCs as possible, because as I have ESO Plus, I'm kind of comparing this alongside Fallout 76's pass. And I'll probably do a video on that sometime in the future, as well as I do want to do a live stream. There will be more ESO live streams, as well as I want to do a live stream on Fallout 76 in the future. We're not going to do that quest right away, sorry. Sorry, lady. Wait, is she actually going to that one, or is she going here? Oh, she wants to go here. I guess we can kind of do this. The reason I skip a lot of the dialogue is not only to get it out of the way and so that it's not talking over me, but also I have played most of this stuff. I actually have, you know how it shows, where is it? Shows your rank, your champion rank down there. My champion rank on Xbox right now is like 200 something, 260 something. I can't remember. I haven't played that person in a bit, but I'm doing a similar thing here on PlayStation where I'm trying to do all of the quests in each given area. Wait a minute, what is this town? Oh, it's Karthwis. That's cool. But yeah, I wanted to talk about ESO, so with the dude I'm talking about, he was clearly sponsored, as he even says, so there might be some bias from him saying what he does. Still a good video, though, and I love that guy because he was kind of warning us about the, what's that game called? Frickin' Days Gone, not Days Gone, that's that zombie game, the, I forgot the name of that too. Sorry. Shut up. But yeah, I wanted to talk about ESO mainly, and not really that video. But I did want to bring that point up, that I felt like there was a little bit of bias going on. And it'll go into maybe my other points. So, ESO, what keeps me to ESO, I do think it is a better MMO. I think a lot of MMOs potentially have a really easy way of pulling people playing them in. It really depends on, even some sucky MMOs. There's people who still play a lot of different MMOs today that you wouldn't think would be still alive. I remember I was playing DC Universe Online and somebody came on just to say, people still play this? Well, of course, there's actually quite a few people who still play that. And the thing's keeping me going, so when it comes to combat like this is, I could just literally just smack him a bunch. Not really need to worry at this point with my abilities and stuff. Bosses are where I think a lot of the combat comes into shines. where you're using like dodges, your different abilities, you're like rolling around, blocking, and hitting whatever their attack that you can kind of parry in a way, whatever you want to call it. The different builds you can make and such. Oh my gosh, he said it. I love it when he says skill issue. What got me through, especially recently, through this game, because this game is really tedious. A lot of its quests are very repetitive. A lot of the main quest lines to a lot of the DLC boil down to feeling like Pixar movies where they have to have, I'm going to let him take care of this hound, or a saber cat, whatever the frick. Boil down to, we got to do some tedious crap, find out what's going on here, like some detective mystery, and then you find out there's some traitor. And a lot of the main stories of a lot of the DLC are that. There are some shining characters, though. I do like the main cast of characters, thanks to not only having more development in the DLCs, but also being voice acted by some brilliant actors, and sadly some actors that have left us, like Michael Gambon, R.I.P. And there are so many there's so many great characters, and there's some decent quests. I love Rigart, or whatever, voiced by Steve Bloom. Great character. I love what's his freaking name? Narcissus Dren, I think his name is. He's voiced by the guy who voices Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter, and I love that character as well. Oh god, not one of these places. Oh, there's a Dwemer elevator over here. Sorry if I'm umming a lot. I'm Jeff Goldblum, so. Anyways, I wanted to say the thing that keeps me going is I love that they finally brought companions in. I love all the different companions. Clearly, I love using Sharp. They also have great actors like you got Brandon Keener, who voices Garrus Vakarian in one of my favorite game series, Mass Effect, voicing an Argonian, like, I can't remember what his, I think he's a mercenary with amnesia. And I'm finally getting some of his quests on. He has his own quests. The AI is actually pretty good and smart to an extent. There's some times where he's, a little dumb. But I have a lot of fun because thankfully they did it better than Fallout 76. I wanted the companions in Fallout 76. I know it's a multiplayer game, but if this multiplayer game can do it, then why the frick can't Fallout 76 do it? Where the fricking companions can actually come with you on your adventures and such. I'm not going down there yet. I want to explore and find these places. Yeah, there's 2 more. It gives me XP anyways. As well as, I think other than tediousness, the other thing is because it's an MMO, there's a lot of restrictions it has to abide to. Don't worry, I'll talk about some positive things too. But because it doesn't have random encounters and enemies have to be in specific locations, I mean, Skyrim still has that, but it has a lot of random encounters too. Makes the world feel very lively, where the NPCs don't feel quite as alive in this game. They feel very scripted, obviously, because they have to play by a script. There's a bunch of stuff that is very obvious of an MMO, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you think of it as just MMO, it works. But if you're thinking of it, so I would word it as a fairly competent or good MMO, but a mediocre Elder Scrolls game. Because it gets a lot of what people probably wanted from Elder Scrolls, which would have been what Skyrim Together became. And it takes it to a level that's not nearly as good as, say, Final Fantasy Realm Reborn and such. But if it is your preferred MMO, I can see why. I've kind of got addicted to it, and I can't believe I have, because I actually thought this game was super mediocre. I still have a lot of problems with it. I still think a lot of those problems are still persistent there, but because of how I've gotten into it and the things they've added to spice it up a bit, such as the companions, love the companions. I mean, I think Laura Bailey also voices one of them. I think she's Isabel, and then there's also the Louis voice actor, Griffin Tao or something. I can't remember how you pronounce that name. I'm just gonna let Sharp as Night take care of that. And while I don't mind it, the worlds aren't nearly as interesting to explore. Now, the good thing is this does do some things that the Elder Scrolls games do kind of need. Like, there's faster loading screens between doorways. There's also... Hey, frick off. I don't know, but like it is a very hand-holdy game too. But if I have to say one other thing, like a lot of people blame Skyrim for that. This game's whew. If you didn't like the hand-holding in Skyrim and such, you're not gonna like it here. But I think the other thing is they make it so there's no certain like cities won't have a big doorway that you have to go through. Not that Skyrim doesn't always have a decent loading screen going through doors. Excuse me, going through doors. But they do something where you don't have to worry about like a loading screen when you're going through a doorway to another place. There's a weird thing where it also has to like. I don't know why they make this certain areas that we know from Skyrim and Morrowind bigger than they actually are in those games. It's just kind of weird to see. You still do have that feeling, though it's come to be kind of accepted now, where I remember Angry Joe, I don't really care for Angry Joe anymore, but one of the things was like people being like he hated the whole idea of like, oh, you're supposed to be this chosen one or whatever, and then there's like a million other chosen ones around you, so it just kind of lessens the weight of your character. So I can understand that if you do have that problem, as well as even though I haven't had any problems more lately with ESO, I have had some ridiculous, just rude ass people I would either encounter or hear in the background. Like, I remember, and this was mostly on the Xbox, I don't think I've experienced this on PlayStation yet, but on Xbox, I would go to like Riften. Riften's like my favorite city other than Markarth in Skyrim. God, people in front of like the bank or whatever would say the N-word constantly, and some of them I'm pretty sure are probably white. So I don't, and I'm saying like hard R. I'm not talking like anything else. But goddamn. And then I would witness people bullying, even people if they had a disorder or something. Like there was clearly one situation. Luckily, there was somebody to help out, but I like heard it in the background while I was doing something, and it was somebody who had like a speech impediment, and they were just being picked on by random individuals on there, and it's like, what the frick is wrong with this community? You want to know how it gets worse, by the way? I've literally had times, because I play Argonian, and I remember I was trying to get a vampire bite once and a werewolf bite. Goddamn, people will, for some reason, act like it's a role-playing server, even though you know it's certainly not, because nobody else has agreed to such a thing, and nobody else is role-playing, really. But goddamn, if they are role-playing, it is a hardcore role-play, because they would be racist against your fictional in-game character, in turn bullying and harassing you on the other side. What? What kind of dumbass thing have I witnessed there? Luckily, I haven't seen anything like that in a long time, but when that happened, it was the stupidest thing I could have possibly witnessed. what the hell? And that's not even it. I've had somebody who's picked on me, and then because I was trying to get them to leave me alone, please, not trying to be rude or anything, they just go and get their freaking boyfriend so they can get defended by somebody else because they can't fight their own goddamn battle, which wasn't even a battle meant to be fight in the first place because I wasn't trying to fight one. I was trying to eliminate it, and they freaking get their goddamn boyfriend to fight. Luckily, turn things off, the whole bad situation of that off, but I just straight up reported them. They also tried to manipulate the situation at the time too, so I saw what they were trying to do and I just straight up reported them, just blocked them and wanted nothing to do with them. Freaking ridiculous. I've even had somebody who's like, I've joined a guild or whatever, and they thought I stole something from them, and they just wanted to, they threatened to mass their entire guild, like try and block me or like report me or whatever. And it's like, what the hell is wrong with people? They're still coming after me. Like, I've seen people who are rude on Halo. I've seen people who are rude on Gears of War. Nothing freaking like this. Like, this has got to be one of the worst freaking communities I've seen, at least on Xbox. I don't know how it is on PC and such, or if like there was crossplay and maybe there were some of those people were from the other platforms. I don't know. All I know is it was freaking stupid. Some of the dumbest crap I've ever seen. Luckily, I haven't seen that stuff. I've actually had nicer encounters. It feels kind of like more like what Fallout 76 was. Because Fallout 76 had a good community of people. I've actually ran into a lot of really nice people. And that would either give me stuff or give my friends stuff. Or they would try to help me out in some other way. Like, I've never seen somebody mean, though lately I've heard they've been overrun with, like, trolls and griefers and such, so maybe the community is kind of soured because of that stuff. So, who knows? Hopefully that stuff isn't as bad as I've been hearing. But, yeah, it's just freaking ridiculous, that crap, when I dealt with it. So if you ever have, just be wary if you're somebody who has like a disability or something, or like whatever it may be. Be wary that like there can be some major dickheads on ESO. I don't know if it's like that anymore. I haven't really run into that stuff, and it was mostly on Xbox where I experienced that stuff.
Thanks to you, Snowy and I can return.
But goddamn.
Come on, Snowy.
Terrible ass community. Did I just like oh, what the hell? This it is Saber Cats. But yeah, I've been getting into the combat. It's mostly at its strong point when you're fighting either multiple enemies or you're fighting a boss battle. That's where you notice the gameplay at its best. Otherwise, it's very stale. And there's good side quests. There's also tedious, mediocre side quests too. Oh, they're fighting. Okay. What the hell is that thing? The hell? So now we're fighting the boss here. There's some decent designs. I do think they use some weird enemies in some places that don't really make sense. Maybe this time period. I'm also not sure what to think of, like, whoa, that was a lot of my health. Holy crap. But, with that kind of stuff, like, just stop dragging me away. Let's get this second guy out of the way so that... There we go. See, he's dead. I'm still being attacked, I think. We beat him? We beat him. Yeah. Sweet. I think I got that completed, yeah. There we go. Oh, there's a couple of... I don't know if I've discovered that yet. But, yeah, just be wary of, some nasty people, particularly from what I've heard on Xbox. Maybe it's not quite as bad as it used to be, but, like, Riften was, who knows where those people could be found a new hanging out area. They can be a bunch of rude jerks. And like I was saying earlier, why I said there were clearly white people saying, because there were so many people in that one crowd, and on multiple different days, that some of them had to have been white or something. There was no freaking doubt in my mind. If they weren't, then okay. But I really doubt it. That was a lot of that word with the hard R and everything, and a lot of people saying it, like, come on. What is going on here? So many people saying it too. What is wrong with people? It was a giant. But yeah, like, I think the game's has gotten better. I've even gotten a pop figure based on Vivek. I think it's the only pop figure I have. I kind of like Naryu, by the way. There's some characters that are hot. There's like this wood elf with a green outfit, and she's got little piggy tails on the sides of her head. I can't remember her name. She's hot. A lot of wood elves actually are kind of hot. They're baddies. And then Naryu. Can we get married, Naryu? She keeps making these references of, like, I'll give you a kiss. The last time I talked to her, she said, next time I'll give you something better than a kiss. I'm like, yay, we're going to bang. This is gonna be like that moment on Jew's channel where you did the Fallout Far Harbor stuff, and I'm gonna be like, finally, for once, I'm gonna have sex on the channel. I love that. And it was disappointing too because it didn't even do it was robo modes. I'm pretty sure these. Where is this stupid? Like, you see this? Get these frickin' moves out of my way. Yeah, I think that ESO has gotten better, but I wouldn't say to the extent that that YouTuber has said. Not only has he clearly even says so, probably has bias and is saying what he said because of his bias, and that he has the Bethesda, where he's not like Luke Stevens, where Luke Stevens like, I'm gonna speak my mind if it's bad, even if it means I'm gonna get frickin' kicked from them wanting me to review anything else of theirs. I do think it's a better game while still retaining some of its faults and problems from the past. But nonetheless, where the frick is this stupid thing, by the way? Like, I've been all around this rock. There's invisible walls, like, blocking me from going in there. Oh, is it down? What the hell? It's down here. This is dumb. And there's a lot of stuff that this game does give you. There's also, I remember there was a report, I can't remember, it was just a lead director or someone that was saying they were like bragging about the game being like, our game's the equivalent of 10 campaigns, if not more. And it's like, Sure, if it's a really tedious, mediocre 10 campaigns, I don't think you want to brag about that with how Disney, modern Disney and Pixar, you know, the surprise villain that you always have, the surprise traitor villain that you have in a lot of your main plot lines and stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. And while the lore is good and there's some good side quests, there's times where characters are forgettable and a lot of the lore is forgettable. I also find it, I don't know if like, so it's between the different like packs, like Ebonheart pack versus all the Merit, whatever. Um, and they do have like the races amongst those, the three races amongst those. But when it comes to everywhere else, why it's kind of weird to me. Maybe I don't know the lore of that stuff very well, but it does feel weird when you go to like here, Markarth, and it's taken over by the Reach, and you have like some Argonians, maybe Sheets here and such, and it's like, does that make sense in the lore? That's kind of like if you did like feudal Japan and you had a bunch of different people from different time periods, which or different places, which there were, but very, 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 very slim percentage, because this is supposed to take place before like Morrowind and all that. And if you know a lot of the lore, there was a lot of racism and a lot of slavery. And while they do have the slavery part in Vardenfell, it's not nearly to the extent I thought it was. I'm not saying that they do need that stuff more, but it would make sense more in the lore of certain things. I also find it, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I guess I haven't done the part of Black Marsh that's really deadly to people, but Murkmire does feel a little weird having like Imperials and all that coming there when the whole reason a lot of other people couldn't go to their homeland and such was because it was so deadly and poisonous and all that with the swamps and such, that it was practically like unlivable, or whatever the frick word you would use, if that's even a word. It's like, okay. I'm not saying it needs that stuff necessarily, and it does sound weird saying that stuff. I mean, like, even when you played Skyrim and you see like Winterhold, or not Winterhold, Windhelm, and you see how freaking racist they are there, it's like, goddamn. Like, this is supposed to take place many years after ESO, and yet ESO feels like it's trying to be modern day. Like, hey, we're all getting along and stuff. It's like, no, that's no. That is not how it is. And while it is strangled here and there, it's a little, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I feel like they're playing it too safe there. But I don't know. I don't even know how to approach that, honestly. That's not something I can really, I don't know. It's weird. But I just felt like, lore-wise, you tell me, is it weird that they, with some of the, I don't even know. I don't even know how to word it. But, yeah. There's some problems here and there. I definitely think that they do, to some extent, whether it's a small extent or a big extent that they're doing it to, that there are probably some things in the lore that they're messing up. It's not unheard of from Bethesda, but goddamn, I feel like that stuff in particular is really messing it up. Because it's like, you do realize this and that. Hold on, I'm trying to find some stuff, but I think that's basically all I had to mention. There's something right here. I'm looking at a map on my phone, by the way, for all the places that I'm looking for. It says there's a Is it because I haven't done the delve yet? Where is it? Wait a minute. Huh. So not that one. Oh. Wait a minute. Huh. Huh. At the segment? Sorry. But yeah, you guys tell me what the lore is on some of that stuff. Maybe I'm wrong about that stuff, and like certain lands aren't as aren't the same as others with their political viewpoints or whatever the frick is going on there. It does feel a bit strange. This is supposed to not only take place before those other Elder Scrolls, but it's like a fantasy medieval frickin' setting. So it takes place during a time period that stuff would probably most likely be prevalent. And I just use feudal Japan as an example because you see the new Assassin's Creed, and they do have you have that Black Samurai, but like him and the guy from Neo, which was he Scottish? I can't remember if he was Scottish, but yeah, they at their time period they were the pretty much the only people, maybe a couple others, but they were like the 1% of people during that time. So it's kind of like, why the frick are there so many Imperial slash Khajiit slash Orc slash, everything here and there? And then other times they do stick to that. It's just kind of something weird about it. Something off. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to. Wait a minute. Maybe it's. Oh, is it referencing down here? There's a. Oh, that's why. There's probably a delve down here. There's probably. Yeah. Because I'm looking at the map. Oh, what the hell? Looking at the map here, and it doesn't really look like there is much else to discover. I think I can just go ahead with the quests. And it's saying on the side there that I'm missing some things, but I'm not seeing that here because it looks like I've discovered everything above except for the spot I'm about to go to. But anyways, you tell me. I don't know exactly how that is. How they're freaking not as knowledgeable about ESOs like lore and such as I am with like Skyrim and Morrowind and such. I love those games and Oblivion. Yeah, and it's just a game that doesn't have the vibe of oh jeez, that's a werewolf, of a Elder Scrolls game. Like, I actually prefer, this is the one game I can prefer. Also, a good thing I can give is that I like the third person actually works here. But then that's at the sacrifice of this awkward, like, first person camera. I also don't really like that they have to, I know you can turn it off, but I hate, like, the obvious, like, online features they have to do, like put a white or red or yellow outline around the character, and then, stuff like showing the red of where their attacks are gonna go. That is a little like jarring and takes me out of it, of course. But it's an MMO. If you can think of it just as an MMO, that's fine. I think most of the random kind of encounter feeling stuff, or at least the stuff that's a little random in the world, like for example, the squirrel. Though I think they still have a place that they mostly stick to, and they run away from you and such appropriately. So it makes sense. At least sometimes they do. Not all the time. But yeah, there's some things that make the world feel lively, and there's some cool dungeons and side quests. There was one other thing I wanted to mention. I kind of wish that pets were you had like combatable pets, like dog meat here. I wish he could attack. Man, that's the one thing I'm kind of disappointed in thinking about Fallout 4. Well, you know how like Fallout 3 and New Vegas at least let you take like one other like companion, as long as it was like either that I bought or whatever the frick from Fallout New Vegas, Ed E, or Rex, because it was like a pet kind of thing. It's a smaller type of, it counts as more like a pet, or dog meat paired with fox, and Rex paired with whoever, like maybe Ganon or somebody else. I don't know. Yeah, that would be cool to do here too. I like that they finally have companions. It's pretty dope. What are these things? Oh, they're vampiric. Okay, that's why they look like that. Excuse me, just running through. And you find yourself running through a lot of stuff. I actually hate how you have to buy really slowly. That's a bear. Slowly over time. Different things. Where am I? Oh, hi. Wow, there. Okay. There are a lot of these guys. I think I need to get out of here because this is not where I want to be. I prefer running everywhere because using your mount, because you have to slowly wait to freaking like buy speed or inventory slots for yourself or your mount or whatever. It's just kind of, it's kind of sucks. I'm glad it's at least not viable stuff. And of course, even though I have gotten some stuff before, I don't ever promote microtransactions. So even though I have gotten stuff before, I am part of the problem. I wouldn't say I'm a large part. I don't really get stuff that often, honestly. So it's not like I'm doing a lot. Like, I'm not paying hundreds of goddamn dollars like people do in freaking Genshin Impact. Like, no freaking way. No thanks, bro. Though I think Fortnite's kind of reached that point a little bit, but that's over a long span of time. That's not like within that one shard spot where somebody spent $1,000 goddamn dollars in a day. But nonetheless, even if I am like the part of the problem on that, I still don't promote that stuff or want to ever side with that stuff. I hate that stuff. I think it's dumb. And I don't get like crazy with it like other people do. And I do like how my character, I love the look that I came up with my character, as well as I love my companions. They're really cool once again. Some of the actors they chose, like that Femship and Garrus are in the game. Tally is she's like an extra or whatever. So it's going to be nearly impossible finding out who she voices. She's like plays guards, maybe a guard or so. So just some like random characters here and there. I need to find out where she is. If we can find her, I'll do a reunite video with her too. But I think that's everything I want to say. I know I said that earlier, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed. It got a little weird with the talking about the lore thing with the. But you let me know. You let me know. That was awkward to talk about, but it's mostly just because like I don't know how like maybe there's something I don't understand going on there with how that works. But hey, what am I to say? And once again, keep in mind a lot of the stuff I say is just my personal opinion. You have yours, you make up your mind. I shouldn't have to tell you that stuff anyways, even though people either want to just pick a fight or just say what they want to say because they are genuinely mad, but they shouldn't be getting that mad because it's freaking ridiculous and they paint a bad image for themselves when they go out and do that stuff. And like, you can form your opinion a million different ways without having to be a harassing bully or jerk. So it's just like, I can't take opinions seriously when they're doing that. And if you are going to do that stuff, like, I'm just straight up like I said in my description, I'm removing your freaking comments. I'm not giving you the satisfaction. Piss off with that stuff. If you can't say something or disagree with me in a way that's constructive and smartly thought out and such, without having to also be a dickhead at the same time, then it's just not worth dealing with and not worth having. And you wasted both my time and your own by making such comments. Though probably mostly your own at this point, because it's not going to work. And if that stuff does come up,
Well, look at
then,
that.
like I said, I remove it. I even if I have to block the person, you can technically block people from your channel, by the way, if they do that kind of stuff. So yeah, even if they make another account, I'll still block that one. Doesn't matter. And I have my friend usually help look over some of the stuff too. So I have backup to figure things out. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video, found something constructive or interesting. I probably haven't mentioned everything I could have. And I hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments below. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye!